Hello, all my good friends. I'm Oliver from Token Hobby. This one it is a three-way damper truck from LESU with this crane. So for axle chassis, it is all metal chassis. Let's see how to operate this one and the radio settings. It is a little bit complicated for the settings and operating. So be careful before you receive this one. Get to know about it and not to cause damage to it. So first let's see the radio. When you operate it, first power on your radio, then connect the battery on the cabin. So they will bind to each other, connected, then operate. So before you start, carefully, this VRA in the middle, VRB in the right side, VRC right side, all this red button on top, SWC also put on top, release it. Okay, so now let's see. Why so careful? Because if you rotate this crane by mistake, you will scratch the painting with the crane with the bucket, so may cause damage. So let's go to function assign. First, let's see all the channels which function it is controlling. So small arm J1, that's the forward arm for reaching out. That's this one, J1. So now mix control off, it's not operating, but if you compress it, it will start moving. So mid arm J3, middle arm J3, big arm J2. So SWB channel 4. Channel 4 SWB, that's for reaching out the standing leg. And channel 5 SWD, that's for the standing leg go out and supporting on the land. That's SWD channel 5. Channel 6 SWE. Channel 6 SWE, that's for switching the damper to different damping mode. So rear damping, left side damping, right side damping, controlled by SWE. In the middle, it is rear damping. Later we will see all the details. Channel 7 VRC, that's changing over valve. One separate valve near the pump is changing the oil to the crane or changing it to the damper. So channel 7 VRC, changing over valve for changing the oil channel. Channel 8 hydraulic pump, controlled by VRA, always in the middle. Mostly we're using for mix control to start it. So it's a double way ESC for the pump, so can turn in both directions. So when operating on the damper, it is no distribution valve, only the pump supply oil to the cylinder or suction oil from the cylinder to lift up and drop it. Channel 9 plate turning J4. So now do not operate it. If you operate it, this turning causing damage. J4 for turning plate of the crane. Channel 10 SWH, that's SWH channel 10, that's for starting the damper, the pump, and it is controlled by mixing start the pump. Later we will see the details. So channel 10 for damper, SWH. Channel 11 is nothing, no connecting anything. So have two receiver. First receiver 1 to 10 channel. Second receiver starting from channel 12. Means second receiver channel 1, it is channel 12. It is throttle with VRD for driving. Channel 13, second receiver channel 2 means channel 13, steering, VRE. Channel 14, SWG, that's the sound. SWG, channel 14. Channel 15, gearbox, SWA. Released, it is low speed. Pressing down, that's high speed. That's a gearbox. So channel 16, That's SWF, that's for the light. Channel 16, SWF for the light system. Channel 17 is controlled by VRB, so no more switching. We are using this turning switch for differential lock. Channel 17, that's differential lock. VRB, it is unlocked. Turning to left, differential, it is locked. So we leave it at unlocked position. So now we will start to operate a little to see. First, so pressing down for pump mix control and for crane mix control, damper mix control, all switched on. So before you operate anything, safety first raising the arm, the big arm of the crane. First raising it because the crane and the bucket too close. If you operate mistake, we'll have scratch. First lift up. Yeah. Also middle arm, lift up. If you lift up like this, also at this position you cannot touch anything. So it's safe like this. Raising it first. Light, SWF. And also the crane, this operating plate also have light, this side and the right side. Rear side have light and braking light, reversing light, and let's see the steering light, turning left, turning right, all have signal light. For the sound, horn, engine sound. So now let's see the 2-speed gearbox and the differential lock. At low speed, high speed, SWA. Changing back to low speed, SWA. Differential lock, VRB, turning all the way to left, differential lock. Yeah, it's all turning going. Unlock, VRB all the way to right side. Unlock. Okay, disengage. That's the 2-speed gearbox and differential lock. Let's operate in the crane, keeping this switch at this position and pressing down SWC for mix control. So now, raising more the big arm, raising the middle arm. So now we can reaching out the standing leg, SWB, reaching out the standing leg, and manually turn it around. Take it out the screw for locking. Lock it. Lock the screw, so pointing vertically down. Okay, the leg going down, SWD. Okay, already supporting and keeping the balance for the crane and the car. So now you can also putting down the middle arm and reaching out the forward arm. That's all the way coming out. You can spin it now for channel this J4 for spinning. That's the dead ends to the forward. So when you reach the forward, there is no limit switch already stuck there. You have to stop the motor. Otherwise, you will damage the motor and the gear. So reaching the dead ends, stop. And for other way turning to right side, stop. It's 270-degree turning. So all this area behind the cabin, at the bucket left side, right side can be loading, working. This area can reach in. So restore back, unloading, turning back. So when you are unloading, also the big arm, also up and down, middle arm also good for up and down to find the position. Spinning back. It's too much. But parallel with the bucket here, yeah. Be parallel with this forward arm and taking it back. put down. So better not to put all the way down. If you put all the way down and check if parallel or not, you have to find the angle not to touching the bucket. But for operating the bucket, you better keep this arm up position, so no worry about damaging the bucket. So now we will operate about the loading bucket. This one we will put back. SWB, taking back the standing legs. Now we will operate the bucket. For bucket, this SWE, this switch in the middle, that's for the dumping to rear side. Let's start. So for the dumping, controlled by SWH, pushing forward, pump start, and the changing over valve changing to the dumper cylinder, all mix controlled by SWH. Before reaching end, have to stop. Already reaching the end, stop, because this pump the oil go to changing over valve and directly going to the cylinder, no pressure release valve. So before reaching top, stop. When reaching sitting on the chassis, also have to stop, not to burst out the oil hose. Okay, withdraw back. And when you lifting up the bucket, no matter lifting up to rear side or left side or right side, never touching this SWE. Don't touch SWE, because after you rising, you touch, the lock will be open. One side, this side open, other side open. One will open, and the bucket will fall down. Only connecting remaining with the cylinder, you will damage it. So after rising the bucket, never changing SWE. Only after you putting back the bucket. The bucket sitting on the chassis, you can change SWE, change to different lock position. It's already sit, check. So now this one unlocked, this one also unlocked. If you was touching this switch, when the bucket up, this one unlocked, the bucket will fall to other side. So now we are raising the bucket to dump to right side. There is limit switch this side and the right side. So when reaching this angle, limit switch is on, power off of the pump. The pump will stop. Bucket only at this position, because I have mud guard, have chassis there. This is for side dumping, left side, right side. This is the dead angle. Only stop here. Now putting back. Okay, only after sit, you can open and close the hook from different position. Only now you can change over. So pushing back, dumping to right side. Pushing to middle, dumping to rear side. Pushing to forward, dumping to left side. Start again, dumping to left side. When dumping, this side door will open by unlock this hook on there. Dumping to rear side, the rear bucket, this plate door will also open when dumping to rear side. Putting back. So this one three-way dumper and with crane, the oil tank different, because this crane with the roll on and off truck, the oil tank it is here, this one. But now it is no use. Pump also not here. The oil tank it is this one. Suction from downside, return from top, and the pump it is at the right side down their box. So oil tank only here, yeah, that one no use. And that box on the other side near the pump have the changeover valve. For others, all 7 distribution valve it is under here inside. 3 channel for the arm, 2 channel for the for this standing legs, and 2 channel for the spare future use, future upgradation, not using now. Also, this spare one, 2 channel, the servo plug, it is not plugged to the receiver because it's already blocked, no using now. let's put back the crane. So it's better not to put it all the way down, yeah, because if you put all the way down, when you accidentally turning it, maybe scratching. So only this angle, it is enough, safety first. Let's see the radio settings. First important, it is the endpoint, because for steering, for servo, need to set up endpoints, not to get the servo stuck, to burn the servo. So click endpoints, and let's see, one by one or 100%, so forget it. CH6, it is, click inside CH6, it is for the SWE, for changing over three-way damper, which way for damping. That's three-way changing for damper, the servo. So CH6, see the setting, left side 55%, right side 60%. So that's enough. It is setting due to the real situation. When you're turning, you see the dead points, the end points, reaching the most, already reaching the end points. So no more space for the servo to turn in, depending on the situation, how it's working there, yeah. It's setting by real inspect when you're setting up. So not to changing these data, because after changing maybe not enough to open the lock or close, or maybe getting stuck the servo. 55, 60%, 60%. Go back, that's channel 6. Channel 8, that's the pump, controlled by VRA. So for this is a double way ESC for the pump. So the pump turning left and the right side, different position. So, but for turning to negative side, it's slower than turning to the positive side, because that's the ESC settings from factory. So for negative side 100%, for positive side 90%, it is already enough. And channel 9, flat turning, only 60%. So for this crane turning, no need to be so fast. If you want fast, you can increase. Safety first, yeah. And channel, another one, channel 13, that's for steering. So when you're setting this steering endpoints, depending on how much these wheels turning, yeah, when you're turning it, so not to touching the suspension, also not get stuck the servo. Also, the front one, it is turning more than second one, because the front one making big circle, yeah. So second one is turning less. This one also adjusted by the connecting rod screws. So 60% and 75% for steering. And channel 15, that's the gearbox controlled by SWA. So 35 and 35. Low speed, now 35%. High speed, also 35% of servo. That's enough for engaging. And channel 17, that's for differential lock controlled by VRB. So for differential lock, they have many space for the servo to turn in, so not to worry. So for the unlock, 100%. For locking it, 19%. That's enough to lock it. So 90% and 100%. That's all for endpoints, which is important. Let's see the mix control. So per mix, click this one. We have mix 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So totally 6 mix control. Let's see what it, no, more. Totally 8. We have 8 mix control. Let's see what functions it is for. So mix number 1, auxiliary channel 10 and channel 7. Mix number 2 also channel 10 and 7. Why 2 same? Because this channel 10, it is for channel 10 is SWH for controlling damper. So for damper, to controlling this one, because the changing over valve we are always keeping at changing over valve always leading to the crane. So VRC changing over valve, now it is leading to the crane. The pump start, oil will go to crane. So mix control for this one, when pump start, also the valve will turn to leading the oil to the bucket. But this one, when turning from right side to middle, that's 100%. From middle to left, that's 100%. So need to turn 200% to change the valve, the oil to bucket. So we set up 2. Number 1, changing 100%, turning 100%, that's the setting. And mixing number 2, the valve turning 100% again. So to totally open the oil channel to the bucket. That's the settings, how much, 100%. Okay. And also have a switch that's controlled by SWC. When pressing down, all the mix control it is on. When pressing release it, all the switch is off, so you cannot control for the hydraulic system anymore. Only spinning is still working on the crane. But it's why that's what I'm saying. This crane always keeping a little up position, so when you're turning, not to damage the bucket painting. Okay, let's see, keeping it on. So let's see mix number 3, auxiliary turn, and channel 8. So bucket operation and the pump. To start the pump, operate. Changing over valve turning, the servo do turning, and also the pump mix control start. Downside, different pump changing, the motor changing, rotating direction. Mix number 4, big arm and the pump. So master big arm, slave the pump, channel 8. So control curve is like this. Pump always running one direction to positive, yeah. And for others, same. Mix number 5, middle arm to the pump. Also same control curve. Channel this mix number 6, small arm to the pump. Master small arm, slave channel 8 pump, control curve, all on the positive side turning the pump. Mix number 7, that's 7 and 8, that's the standing leg reaching out and reaching down. So 7, mix number 7, manipulate 1 and the pump. A little bit different. Anyway, the pump starts enough pressure to move these small standing legs. Mix number 8, also the legs reaching down. That's the control curve. So actually for this one, as long as it's having enough power to move and support, it's enough. So no need very complicated control curve for it. Only if you want the arm moving with more smooth control, more finely control, you can set in the control curve with more complicated the curve for changing slowly. So the valve for the arm easier operate, not to move so fast. Okay, that's all the mix control for this one. Off, see all off, it's all controlled by SWC. Off, on. Now have all the mix control for this stuff. Okay, keeping at this level enough, so not damaging, not to buy if make mistake, causing scratching of the painting. Okay, thank you very much. That's all for this 3-way dumper with crane and for axle full metal chassis. All this apart from LESU and customized with light and sound and different painting available. Thank you. We'll see each other again. Bye bye.